Hi, it's April the 29th and I just thought I'd bring you up to date with the vegetables and show you what's going on. It's quite cold at the moment and has been a very cold, dry month, so it's not been too brilliant for growing vegetables in a lot of ways, but there we go. Most of these have been grown inside anyway, so it's not too bad. So that's the shallots now. They're all growing beautifully, even with the wind and lack of rain. So I've sown some extra peas, another lot of peas, and I've got some cabbage here hardening off, and some young kale hardening off. These have been outside now for about 3 nights now so far, 3 days and nights. Well, more days than nights, but there we are. So they're hardening off quite nicely, and I'm hoping to get those planted out possibly this weekend. I've got some strawberries there, which I'm going to use in a demonstration. I'm going to grow them in a, just show you how to grow them in a little strawberry basket. So I will be doing that either tomorrow or Saturday. So in this, I've had a big move around as usual, so I like to do that so you can check underneath things and make sure that the slugs are not eating this and that. So we've got a few different, some flowering plants, some the leeks for the garden, they're growing there now, so they're quite happy out here in this little box outside. So that's that. There's a few, they're all mixed up really. I've got bergamot there, I've got African marigolds, I've got antirrhinums. Nothing in there yet. I'm going to put some French beans in that one. That is actually a tub of potatoes with some linseed plants that are hardening off in there. That has actually got rhubarb in, but I'm not sure whether it's not doing too well or not. We'll have to wait and see. These are the village potatoes. These 3 potato plots were all planted on the same day. It's a competition for the local church. So why that one has reached the top of the bucket first, I don't know, but there we go. It just shows that they're all of similar size. They're all a tiny little potato, but one's grown so much better than the others. Garlic is doing well, and we should be having some of that soon. Another couple of months and then that should be okay. We have actually got some nice carrots in there. Next time we have a dinner, I think we'll be digging those up and having them. Those lettuce, which I'm growing for the chickens because they like the lettuce. This is chicken lettuce, and there's a chicken bin in that lettuce. So there we are. That's I've closed it up halfway because the wind was blowing it quite a bit 10 minutes ago, and now the sun's come out, and that's got my it's got corn on the cob in there, and some runner beans and some French beans, and a bit of courgette in there. So a few different things. This is some plants that are just hardening off really for hanging baskets. So I'll be, as I say, demonstrating those hopefully tomorrow. I'll see if I can persuade my sister to come up and hold the camera, because it's difficult doing it with the camera on the stand, getting it in the right place. It's not easy. Cucumbers. So the children like the little mini cucumbers, so we've got cucumber mini munch there, and some normal cucumbers. So they're doing okay. They've not been planted very long, but you have to wait for the weather for those, and now the weather's warmed up, they'll start growing quite well. We've got some chilies and quite a few geraniums. We've got red ones and white ones. Those are for the baskets and the tubs, but They're a bit slow growing, they are. They really like the warmth, and we're not getting too much warm at the moment. Aubergines and more chilies and some more trailing geraniums. I picked those up the other day, 4 for £2, outside a supermarket. I don't usually like buying things from the supermarket on principle. Some lobelia, and then I've got some basil growing there, if you can see that. Nicotiana, catmint, some sunflowers, and those are my dahlias. I put them underneath there out of the way yesterday, and then I forgot all about them, but the slugs have been munching those when I wasn't looking. Little devils. So we all have these things sent to try us. And here we have the mammoth potato crop. These, if you remember, were started in February, and this particular bunch is just beginning to get a flower on, so can't wait for those. I managed to pull out a couple of the buckets so that to give them all a bit of air and a bit of roominess, and I've had a couple of the buckets outside, but I've had to bring them back in because it's just, you know, it was just too cold yesterday, so I've brought them back in. Some of my dahlias are doing okay. They are shooting now. I don't know if you can just about see that. I've got one here. I'll say I've been moving things around just to give them a different perspective on things. These under here now, I've got a mixture of growing things for baskets and tubs, so they're doing okay under there. Some more trailing geraniums, and there's some more tomatoes. I've got too many tomatoes really. Calendula will be going in with the tomatoes, and some will be going in the beds. More marigolds, and what have we got here? Cosmos, and more dwarf kale. So that's some of the vegetables at the moment. Those are cauliflower down there. I thought I'd lost the cauliflower because they came up and the sun was shining on them, and when they were little seedlings, and they looked as though they were going to shrivel up and die, but I managed to move them and keep them in the shade for a few days, and then they were fine. So got 2 trays of those. I don't really need 30 cauliflowers, but I dare say I'll pop them up and give a few away. So then just out here I've got a raspberry bush, some strawberries, a red currant, and the top flower, top seed bed. This has got carrots, and don't know if you can see them just starting to come through. Beetroot seedlings, beetroot golden eye, that's a different one, a new one for me today, this year. Bit of parsley. Got parsley everywhere, but I really do like parsley. We've also got some potatoes popping up. I always seem to have potatoes popping up everywhere. That's probably because I empty the compost each year, and just, you know, I empty it onto the beds, and then there's always a little piece of potato in that starts to grow. So there we go. So in with the onions, I've put a few lettuce plants. These are cos lettuce, and I've just put them near the edge so I don't have to tread on the bed at both sides, and these will be up and we'll eat them before the onions are ready. So these onions I grew indoors, if you remember. I set them off indoors, and these ones here are just coming through now, and those were just put out as they were, just the little sets just straight out into the garden. So I'm assuming they'll catch up with the others in no time at all. That's a blackberry bush, just grown in a pot. More garlic. I sown parsnips. You can't see them, they're not through yet this week. And I've put these carrot flyaway in this tub. These have been in here for now for 3-4 weeks. So they're nicely spaced out, so I shouldn't have to thin these. And we should just be able to grow them as they are, and hopefully we'll get the carrot root fly. That's another pot with potatoes in. These big tubs I got from a friend whose dad's a farmer. So these are I think salt licks or cowlick troughs. So I've just drilled some holes. My big granddaughter drilled some holes in the bottom of them. So we've got some potatoes in there, and those are a late main crop. I've got quite a few around the place in different areas, just growing in tubs because I kind of ran out of space. So that's a few of the vegetables. Some of them will be getting planted out now into the other beds as soon as, but it's, you know, down to the weather really at this time of the year. And at this time of the year it's all systems go, and the days are just not long enough. So there we are. So that's a bit of an update on at the end of April as to what is up to where. So speak to you soon. Bye for now.